Hi, I'm Vooght, author of DMT, Deities, Myth and Tryptamines, in which we uncover an archaic appreciation for a biomechanically correct blueprint for the human brain and beyond. The Bible is basically an allegorical anthology, and it even states as such on many occasions. In fact, it's littered with reaffirming statements such as, "Understand the proverbs and parables, these sayings and riddles of the wise." Jesus did not tell them anything without using a parable. And "I will utter dark sayings of old." This last statement being another clue to the antiquity of which we are discussing. How old? Much of the Bible was in fact composed by the ancient Greeks, from which it's since been retranscribed a number of times over, and the etymology of many of the words we use today was still in use when it was being written. Ex-pastor and researcher Bill Donoghue postulates the following examples. Angels are described via the Bible as God's messengers, and the Bible states that God is light. And knowingly or otherwise, science appears to support such a statement. Without sunlight, there is almost no life on Earth. Particles of light known as photons are emitted from the sun, which impact our planet's atmosphere at inclined angles. These angles of light impact our brains, which in turn cause a minute arc of electrical impulses which enable us to use this biological supercomputer between the temples of our skull. The Bible describes these interactions as archangels. Furthermore, the scientific definition of a photon of light is a messenger particle. Coincidence? Is possible. But the definition of an angel is also spoken of in terms of the cherubim. The cherubim are said to dwell within the house of God, our skull. Indeed, Jesus was said to have been crucified in Golgotha, which directly translates as the place of the skull. And we're also told that Jesus, like God, resides inside us. Further to this, however, the wings of the cherubim are said to touch the inner walls of the temple, and that God resides between the wings of the cherubim. Donoghue contends that the ancient Greek word for cherubim has its root in the word cerebrum, and as such, the cherubim's job is to cover and protect God, insomuch that the cerebrum's job is to cover and thus protect the brainstem or house of God. And much can be said of the ancient Greek mythology and human brain anatomy also. Take Pegasus, for example, the so-called flying horse. Of course, horses can't fly, so what does this really mean? Pegasus's mythology is extremely revealing and may have been misinterpreted, if not misremembered, for thousands of years. The place of recall or memory within the human brain is called the hippocampus, which is ancient Greek for the word seahorse, and for good reason too, for its appearance is curiously alike the sea-dwelling creature. It is also described as a white eminence. Pegasus, we find, is a white horse who was born of a union between both Medusa and Poseidon, god of the sea, and believe it or not, horses. Pegasus's wings, then, may in fact be the cerebrum, which we now know protects the stem and hippocampus. Yet the mythology of Pegasus continues. Pegasus, we find, was held in high esteem by Mnemosyne, the Greek goddess of memory. Greek legend further dictates that it was Pegasus's hoof which struck the fountain of Hippocrene, which caused its waters or memory to flow. And here's the kicker, quite literally. There's a part of the hippocampus which we call the pes hippocampus, which is named so because of its remarkable likeness to a creature's paw or hoof. And it's here where it all kind of comes full circle, if you like, because the hippocampus also goes by another archaic and modern day namesake, Amun's horn. Amun being synonymous with the ancient Egyptian sun god Amun, also known as Amen, which is synonymous with Jesus. But when discussing Jesus, the Bible continues to reveal its ancient origins, for it's explicitly clear when recalling the words of God. It is out of Egypt that I have called my son. Once again, I'm Vooght. To continue following this research, you can find me via Facebook, Instagram and Twitter via @VootRM. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening. That's the spirit.